What I've realized that challenges, they make us stronger. I always ask this question, do you believe you were born or you become?
Karina Safarova, she has successful businesses in the Ukraine, but because of the war she had to pick up and start from scratch all the way in Miami. And now her mission is to help thousands of other people do the same thing as her.
So was that a big shift?
Through my story, I show people you can always restart your life, but you still can be so miserable. That's why I use my signature methods. It's the best method ever, which is completely brand new you.
So do you think it's really difficult for people to find out what that why is?
Yes, if the client is very complicated, I do dark retreat, which is,
Wow.
yeah, it's very massive.
Gladiators, welcome back to another episode of In the Arena. And today I am glad to welcome Karina Safarova.
Thank you, Kira. My pleasure, and thank you for having me. Yes, my story is really a story of resilience, and what I've realized that challenges, they make us stronger, and bad time creates strong people. Because my journey was very challenging, really, and I came here 2 years ago as a refugee from Ukraine. I came here with my only suitcase, knowing anyone, without documents, no social security number, no friends. But you know what, my darling? I never felt myself miserable. I was excited because I think life is not about playing a victim or judging or demanding. For me, life is about flowing and learning, even from bad things, and moving forward. So I was very happy to reinvent myself, to restart my life. And through my story, I show people the evidence of what is possible. Because people full of limiting beliefs, for example, it's too late or I'm too old, it's insanely limiting beliefs. You can always restart your life. You can always reinvent yourself.
100%. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. But I think just for context, I think a lot of people have been seeing what's happening in the Ukraine on the news. They definitely have like an outsider's perspective of what's going on. But I just like to walk through, what actually brought you to the point where you thought, I need to leave the Ukraine and what was that thought process and how did that work for you? Because from an outsider looking in, I can see what's going on the news. It is very propaganda based and I'm not getting the full story. So can you walk us through kind of that decision making process and what led you to saying, I need to leave my home country?
Well, the situation in the country, but before, I lived in London 10 years and I got my education in London. It was another challenging times, but it was perhaps the best times for my personal growth because I did my education in Marangoni in fashion, then Imperial College. My passion is neurophysiology. And I'm from family of doctors. And I came back to Ukraine when my father got ill. And my father was my business partner. We had our own clinic. And I decided to support him, to be next to him. And we decided to make our clinic bigger. So I invested my money, all my energy, and we opened our wellness center in Ukraine, anti-aging, longevity. And unfortunately, in 2022, my father passed away. It was like a knife in my heart. And in 3 weeks, the war started. So in one moment, I lost everything. Like I lost my father, my best friend, my business partner, and I lost all my business, all my income. And I was quite frustrated. I was very, very, very frustrated. But I said to myself, okay, it is what it is. And then I came to United States at the end of February when war was already it was horrible time. So I landed in Florida in Miami and I went on the ocean. I remember that day and I've been thinking a lot. And I got this sense of urgency and hyper awareness. All what happened to me, I got this huge sense of urgency and super, super mindfulness and gratitude because I started greeting day, greeting sun, simple things. It was massive shift in my mindset, in my life, in my values, my core values. It was massive shift in my life, and my best programs, my best projects I started at that time. It was life changing.
Would you have said that before moving to Miami and before moving to Florida, that you would have, because it seems like you're very much um, a very, as you mentioned, like a very mindful person, very resilient person. Do you think that was part of your who you are as a person, or do you feel like losing your father and then losing everything in the Ukraine and having to move kind of just brought it out even more? And if it was something that was always within you, is that your childhood? Is that how you were raised, or is that just something that's instinctively in you?
I love this question. I always ask this question: do you believe you were born or you become? So from my childhood, I was a very, very happy kid. I was very generous. And when I say generous, it's not generous, being generous with money. It's being generous with your spirit, with your energy, with your time, with your kind words, with making compliments to people, being um, compassionate, like it's about consideration. And so I was very, very kind, and I was very, very loving person. I love cuddling, and from my childhood, I was always thought leader. I was always the best in my room. I was always the best among students and pupils in our class, and I was always open. So I do think that it's in my heart, and it's just me. It's not the war in Ukraine, and it's not. I learned how to live from pain to purpose. In this situation, I learned how to live from pain to purpose, and I never chased success. I chased life full of fulfillment and satisfaction, life full of pure joy of living. So it all brought me to where I am right now, and I really I do great things now, and it's the best feeling to be a blessing to somebody, to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud, to be valuable, to bring some value. And some people, they don't even show up. How to build your credibility? How you just need to show up, to share your story, to spread your message. It's all about communication, and it's all about this consideration, empathy, love, compassion. That's people don't have enough of this. They are focused, they're chasing wrong things, to my mind, because I chase only something light and something good, and really life full of fulfillment. That's much more important. Gratitude. I'm always grateful.
Yes. And I think what you mentioned is very important as well, or it, it seems to be a common theme when it comes to successful people, is that there was a pain that turned into a purpose, right? There's so many entrepreneurs that when you ask them about their childhood, when you ask them what was the inspiration to start businesses, it all came from a place of pain. And I think a lot of people, we might not know what their stories are. Maybe they feel their stories aren't significant enough. But I think it's channeling and learning how to turn that pain into an opportunity, because it is thing to go through. And it's difficult when you're on your own and you don't really recognize how to do that exactly. But learning from other people, such as yourself, through their stories and seeing how people can turn that pain into a purpose, into an opportunity, into helping other people is really important. And I think that, the fact that you said that you don't chase success, you chase fulfillment is also something that's important as well, because we're definitely living era where people see the fancy cars, they see the private jets, they see the branded clothing, and that's what they're looking at. But I don't think they're looking at it from the perspective of what can I do that impacts someone else? What can I do that makes me feel happy and makes me feel satisfied with my life? Um, so I think that's really important. And I wanted to ask, obviously, you mentioned that you had the clinic with your father beforehand. And I think that obviously moving to Miami, you started helping other people as well. So was that a difficult shift to go from, the clinics and helping people in that perspective. Whereas to now, you've got so many different programs available that help people on a spiritual mental level as well. So was that a big shift for you?
Yeah, so I've been creating my programs more than 10 years, and it's not overnight success. And I started writing my book many years ago, and I started doing podcasts 5 years ago. And I use a lot of wellness protocols. I work with the best doctors, and I combine physiology, mind, energy, and spirit because my passion is neurophysiology. I learn all the time how body, mind, and soul works. And as you mentioned about successful people, my darling, you can be powerful, but you still can be so miserable because I have so many wealthy people with their private jets. They're so unhappy, they're miserable, they don't have enough excitement in their life. They don't have this enjoyment, pure joy of living. They take 12 pills in the morning. They have 3 therapists. I always say, what is your drama about? Why? Life is so beautiful, it's precious. And that's why I use my signature methods, questioning, like Christmas method. What is Christmas method? It's the best method ever to create things to look forward to create things you are excited about. And it might be very, very simple things. It's so simple. And I always learn how body and brain and mind operates together and soul. So this is kind of rebooting your body and mind. I use this method, and also I studied a lot logotherapy, which is Viktor Frankl. It's about questioning yourself, questioning simple questions like what is genuinely good for me, what is good for my body, what is good for my soul, what is good for my future, because we came here to shape our good future. And it's incredible. You can rewrite, you can rescript, you can redesign your life completely. I use a lot the system of 12 steps system, which is they use a lot of in rehabs where you completely change your life and you start immediately implementing new habits. All my programs, they are reboot. So you implement new habit, new rules, new attitude, new system, new strategy, completely brand new you. That's how I work, and it's my experience allows me to combine all these methods. It
Mm.
all works perfectly together.
So I wanted to ask, let's say, for example, that I'm coming to you and I want to start your programs. I'm in a position where I'm not 100% sure about what I want and what makes me happy. What would be the first program that you would recommend to me? Because I think that you've got so many. You've got the Christmas method, the red pill method. You've got the reboot method. What would you recommend if you were going to put them in like? What would you start with?
Okay, I would do diagnostic, and I would recommend to start from surrender therapy because sometimes, yes, I would do my questioning logotherapy, which is specific questions, and they are very awakening. And then you surrender because there is always something what really you are not unhappy about, like maybe some traumas from your past, maybe your family relationships, maybe something what you are really, really, what something what makes you sad. So what is surrender therapy? You embrace all the way it is. Because when you resist something, you spend a lot of energy there and it's wasting energy. So surrender is accept it and give it place and let it go. And also, I work a lot with ego. Ego is a very bad thing because people are full of this ego. You need to let go of your ego. I want people to be more humble. So first of all, it's questioning to understand where you are, what is your why, and where are you going. To know this, your goals, your dreams, they should be exciting.
Mm. Do you think that a lot of people have issues or trouble finding out what that why is? Because I think a lot of people have a general idea of what it is that they want, and what it is that they can envision for themselves, but not necessarily the why. Like, and I feel like that's when people know what they want but they don't know what the why is, that's when you end up with people that are really successful, really wealthy, but still unhappy at the same time. So do you think it's really difficult for people to find out what that why is?
When it's really difficult, really, like when it's the client is very complicated, I do with him quantum reboot, which is really intense. So it's first of all 3 days in total silence. Yes, total silence, and it's if the client is very complicated, I do dark retreat, which is silence in the darkness. Without, yeah, it's very massive because I have different clients, and so it gives you this sense of awareness, and you should know yourself better, and you listen to your body, you listen to your thoughts, and you start being grateful, mindful. You start like mindful eating, mindful living, the art of living. So yeah, it's very good things to do, and I recommend everyone to do sometimes that at least micro breaks for mindfulness during the day. Like I have a lot of businessmen and entrepreneurs. People are stressing, overthinking kills happiness. So I do this silence 3 day retreats. It's quantum reboot, and it's really helpful because I had my spiritual awakening. I went to Kopan Monastery. I lived with monks in Kathmandu, in Nepal, and I did my Vipassana there. And it was incredible. I stopped wanting things there. I started feeling this so full of gratitude, so much awareness, so much love. So it was amazing experience, amazing. And then I went also, I did ayahuasca, which is psychedelic plant. It's a tree in Peru, in Amazonian jungle, with real shaman. It was also amazing experience. So I learned quite a lot. And it's not just, you cannot read it in books. So it's kind of very interesting things. You can modify your life, you can redesign it, you just need to get there through questions, through this discovery, rediscovery, the process of rediscovery. And I always say that my world is world of no excuses. That's insanely limiting belief that I'm too old, it's too late, there is war in my country. Seriously, I'm 41 now and I just started living my best life. When I moved here, started my life from zero, from scratch, and I wrote the best programs, the best.
And so, because I think you deal with a lot of people that are going through these challenges and obstacles that seem like walls at the time until they have your programs, what are some of the most common challenges that you find? Because I know that you deal with a lot of successful people, entrepreneurs. From them, if you were to list a couple of common challenges that you see throughout your clients, what would some of those be?
Well, I do also couples relationships, so infidelity, cheating, and infidelity. Yes, I have couples where husband is cheating and they try to save their marriage. They try to save the family, and also wealthy, successful people. They have a lot of not excitement. So wealthy people, very successful, very powerful people. They have a lot of anxiety and stress, and they don't have a lot of love and pure love. They don't have this pure enjoyment and excitement, like I mentioned. They don't have things to look forward to. They wake up, they start scrolling Twitter, news, uh, too much thinking, too much anxiety, too many pills, too many therapists, when it's so simple. And very helpful is logotherapy here and this surrender therapy. Amazing, amazing program. It's life changing because I'm a very wellness and holistic person. So I combine also wellness protocols, which is holistic therapy. Because physiology, when you change your body, you change your emotions. When you change your emotions, you change your decisions. And life is about making high quality decisions, healthy choices for you. You need I also use RTT method, which is rapid transformational therapy, which is very simple. Three questions. Are you lovable? Are you enough? When I say, are you enough? It's people think I'm not good enough. They scroll Instagram, they're full of jealous, they're envy. It's wasting of energy. And are you lovable? You should receive enough love. You should receive enough love.
I think a lot of people with that question, because that's a lot of, I mean, those two questions that you mentioned, are you enough and are you lovable? Those are like that's questions that a lot of people go through no matter what their circumstances, right? It's either they're not getting enough love or they don't feel lovable or they don't love themselves. And then that kind of turns into, well, if I'm not getting enough love, then am I enough for people? Am I enough for myself? So I think it's very important questions and difficult questions to answer for sure.
But people also they don't have plan because right plan, right strategy can change everything. They don't have system and they don't have enough guidance. For me, I'm very grateful to my mentors and I had the best teachers. And they don't understand that nobody makes it alone. Everybody needs somebody. Relationships are very important. I always say do not invest into fancy vacations. Invest in relationships. Invest in communication, bring some value because people will never forget how you make them feel.
True.
Make people, want to be around you. You should be a good person to be around. And then I start, setting new trends, I would say, because I created these life-changing programs, wellness protocols, retreats. And I love doing something really new, like this quantum retreat, which is nobody's doing. I do this plant-based sober dinners and tea ceremony. Instead of inviting someone to a bar or restaurant, I invite to my podcast, to my show, to have deep, open, sometimes even vulnerable conversation, enhancing conversations. That's my world. That's how I live, and that's what I teach people.
Mm. So if for someone who is watching at the moment and feels that they are resonating with a lot of what you're saying, what would be the first advice that you would give to them? Someone who's feeling lost, someone who's feeling doesn't have a plan, someone who's feeling kind of just hopeless at this point. What would be the first thing that you could say to them?
Prioritize right things, prioritize things that make you feel good. Surround yourself with people who make you smile, who believe in you. Right priorities, prioritize your health. Very important because feeling well is a strategy. It's not like I wake up and I'm super healthy. You need to think about how you're going to feel tomorrow. You need to think today. So it's a strategy. Just prioritize simple things. And fortunately, there are so many things we can learn, free Facebook groups, podcasts, so many things. No excuses. You need to show up. You need to listen. You need to listen good things, read good books, because life is about the books you read and people you mix with. So it's just amazing, like decluttering your life from things which they don't bring value, from people. I love people high-minded, like-minded. I love people who like growing, to become more every day, become more knowledgeable, better, more beautiful inside, to spread this message of love and mindfulness. It's amazing. So many opportunities now. And like rule C, change, choice, and chance. We always have a chance. Always. No excuses. No excuses. All is very simple. All is very simple.
Yes, amazing. I'd love to dive in a little bit more on the story because I mean, You mentioned that you're 41 now and you're just starting to live your best life. You know, I think for a lot of people, when they're watching this, they're going to see a woman who has reached that spiritual fulfillment. They found their purpose. They found, you know, they're looking at you as like the end product, right? But they're not necessarily seeing everything that you put into getting to this point. So if you can walk me through, I mean, you mentioned going and staying at a monastery, learning from the monks, which I think is an incredible story. You've done a lot of work clearly to get to this point. But there must have been something that really triggered the journey of doing all of this, because a couple of like years ago, this wasn't really something that a lot of people knew about. You know, this whole spiritual journey, regardless of what religion that you were in, it is for everybody. And this wasn't something that people were talking about or people were aware of. Now we're aware of it because it's a lot more on social media and people are sharing their stories. But there must have been something that kind of brought you to this point, and all the work that you've put in, there must have been something that kind of triggered it, I would imagine.
Yes, and I'm very proud, to be honest, that I was the first one who started doing all these retreats when nobody knew what is retreat and nobody knew what is ayahuasca. Now everybody, because it's fashionable, and they go to do this ceremony. It's not fun. It's not a quick fix. Doing all these ceremonies and ayahuasca is a hard work. It's very, very awakening, and you need to be ready for this. So, and I also started doing this spiritual discovery. I was in London, and London was very fancy city, and I was around people who live very fancy life, but there was not this spirit. Nothing was super deep. And I've heard from my friend who is very spiritual that he went there. And my friend was really, really, really in a very dark place. And he was very successful, very famous, but he ended up drinking and something went wrong. And he told me that it's really interesting experience. And as I studied neurophysiology at that time, and I studied how brain works and what makes us to make some certain decisions, to feel certain emotions. And it was very interesting. So I decided to go there. But before I went to psychedelic forum and I met there Teres and Dennis, not Dispenza, McKenna. It's very famous author. He was the author of the book about psychedelics and how it can be eye-opening. And so I bought this book, and then in 2 weeks I went to Peru. Yes. And it was many years ago. Nobody knew. All people thought, "Oh my God, what are you doing in Peru, in Amazonian jungle?" Yes. And the Vipassana was, I learned this from a very spiritual man in London. He was so wise, like he was so smart. And he told me, I said, where this wisdom comes from? And he said, Karina, you are extremely beautiful women. You are surrounded by beautiful things in your life. You should try it. And I was also thinking that something is missing in my life because London was really, really, people have very fancy life there. Nobody wants to go. Uh, Nobody comes to London to find love or to become more spiritual. People come there to chase their dreams. So I went there. So these two experiences were really life changing, very awakening. I became so mindful, full of gratitude for simple things. Like I said to myself, life is already very beautiful. I can create masterpiece from my life.
Amazing. That's beautiful.
And you
And
are the creator. You are the creator.
correct. I agree. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you also are a mother.
Yes, I'm very happy mother.
I wanted to ask, when it comes to raising your daughter, correct? Daughter.
Yes, daughter.
So when it comes,
My precious light.
when it comes to raising your daughter, how are you implementing what you live by when it comes to her childhood? Because I think it's really beneficial for a child to be learning all of this as they grow up. You know, like us are learning it late in our 20s or late in life when we're at breaking point. I think for a child to learn from the get-go is so powerful. So how are you implementing this in your parenting techniques and into her childhood as well?
Well, my daughter, she's my precious light. She's my everything. She's 17, and I call her my little goddess because I'm very feminine and I enjoy my feminine energy. It's divine. It's divine. It's such a light-hearted energy which brings in peace and light and love. So I teach my daughter to be humble and to be very feminine. She's like my best friend. She learns from me a lot how to be feminine, bringing light and peace. And this energy should be without no chase, no rush, no force, no desperate energy. And she's amazing and open discussions all the time, very honest. And I also explain her that being vulnerable is good, being authentic is good, being authentic is the most important, and it's quite seducing. It attracts people when you say like, what is magnetic aura? Magnetic aura, it's when people they feel good around you. Like, we all love puppies. You always want to play with puppy, to hug a child. So that's the way we should live, to be such a person that I want to cuddle you, I want to hug you. And being kind, I teach her to be kind, not with money, but she's very generous. Being kind with time, with energy, with spirit, with your kind words. Saying thank you is very important. Appreciation instead of expectation, appreciation. And I also explain her a lot when she's stressed over the exams. She's in the best school in Switzerland. So she's very, very like, she's super stressed all the time because she wants to be perfect. I explained her that overthinking, overstressing kills happiness. I say, you're going to be fine. So we have fantastic relationships, fantastic. And we have such a connection.
Amazing. And I think, I mean, I have to ask because you mentioned like femininity and how important that is as well.
Oh,
And
yes.
teaching her about femininity. What is feminine energy to you? What does that represent to you? And how does that showcase in a woman when she's in her divine feminine energy?
It's a very light-hearted energy, very divine, like feminine energy, very divine. It's this energy brings nothing but love, peace, and it makes people just feel very good, relaxed, and comfortable. Like, I'm always relaxed, I'm always super chill, I'm still, because peace is delicious. So, a woman, she should be very peaceful, she should be slow, and being kind. It's very important. Being kind, I think, more important than being super attractive. You need to work on relationships. This magnetic aura, it's just being to care about people. Remember simple things about people. Make them feel special. Attract only good things because you attract good things because you greatness attracts greatness. So you should have this light inside, and this is very attractive. This is very seducing. And women, I love women. I have a lot of workshops for women because this Kundalini sexual energy, and when I say sexual, it has nothing to do with sex. It's this light and this aura, and this is, I make men vibrate. people vibrate around me because these frequencies, and I bring so much light, so much excitement, so much good emotions. Like, oh, my client, one of my clients says, Karina, you are so nice person to be good around. When I'm next to you, and he's sober many years, I feel like I had 2 martinis. I'm so relaxed all the time. I'm just feeling so good. So that's woman should consider, like being just a good person to be next to. Playful energy, like healthy, light-hearted energy, no toxic, no questioning, no rush, no desperate energy, no force.
I think it can be difficult. I think that we are seeing quite a major shift where a lot of women are in their masculine energy, and that's what's running them because they've got to, the masculine energy is about getting things done and following a plan, being assertive, and doing all those things. And it's very difficult to shift into that feminine energy. But I do think that there needs to be a balance. So, like, you've got to have that go, go, go energy, which is that masculine, but that feminine energy is just playful and it's kindness and it's vibration and love, because that's essentially what the feminine energy is. But I think where people struggle is being able to balance the two. So, for example, when you're talking about feminine energy and being relaxed and not coming from a desperate place or being playful, I think people find it difficult to picture that kind of energy, but in a entrepreneurial sense as well. So how do you balance the two is what I'm trying to ask. How would you balance your masculine and your feminine energy?
Even me, I'm super feminine. I do have masculine energy. So, woman, she should be very lightful. She doesn't have to be worried about things, like too much thinking is not good. More flowing energy, doing things more slowly, to enjoy your body, to enjoy your day, to wake up and thinking, how can I make my day better? How can I make my family feel more happy? There are a lot of techniques how to ground, to slow down, because sometimes we are in a hurry, we do non-stop Zoom calls, and to slow down a bit. Even sometimes cooking or cleaning can be the best meditation. I have a lot of signature meditations for women. It's miracles. Like you listen to this meditation and you understand that you are like melting and you are so full of this light. I have high value women workshops, which is not just about energy. It's about how to speak, how to present yourself, how to live this life of high value woman, how to behave yourself, how to be a good mother, a good wife, a good friend, and how your life looks like real woman. She's very special. But this is the art of being woman, and I have a good news that it's possible to learn many techniques, many things, a lot of practice. You just need to try. You just need to try to become
Mm.
more softer, more feminine.
I saw that when a man and a woman are in a relationship, if she's in her masculine energy within the relationship, it's because I can't remember exactly how it says it, but I'm gonna mess it up for sure. But it basically was saying that a woman will be in her masculine energy when she feels like she's can't rely on someone to get something done. That's when she's in her masculine energy. And if she can depend on you and rely on you for help, that's when she comes into her feminine energy as well. So I think that I would imagine that for a lot of relationship therapy or relationship counseling as well, it would also be just trying to have that woman feel that she is capable of being in that feminine energy as well. um, but yeah, I think that all the things that you're mentioning are issues that a lot of people are experiencing. There's when sometimes when you mention the word like feminine energy and masculine energy, people automatically think cuckoo crazy spiritual person and they kind of shut it off without realizing that it's just basic chemistry. It's who you are. It's every single person has that. Every male, whether they want to admit it or not, has that feminine energy within them themselves. It's just tapping into it and balancing it at different times. How would you do you feel like you've just been feminine your entire life, been in that feminine energy, and it's just something that you've been, or was there a particular moment in time where you just had that shift?
Well, I was always playful, kind, and light-hearted. I was super kind. In my school, when somebody gave me chocolate, I always brought it to pieces and I never left something for myself. I think it's coming from my heart. But with years, I become even more kind, more generous. And women, they make a lot of mistakes. They become needy. They become drama. They start questioning. Men, they don't love it. At the end of the day, he wants to feel like he's home. He feels cozy. He feels comfortable. And they do a lot of questioning instead of embracing and giving this peace what they need. And being soft is very important. Not just soft voice and smile, being soft in general and making your man feel special. Do not be needy and do not question too much and respect his boundaries and also respect your boundaries. That's very important because feminine woman, she knows her boundaries. And also one more mistake women do, they treat her men sometimes like ATM machine. So yes, it shouldn't be like that. I respect men who support women and they help them, but it should be in more intelligent way. And definitely women, they should bring nothing but love and light. And yes, we do need support. We do need a man we can rely on. That's very important for men to be reliable because we are soft. For us, security, being safe is very important. And for men, for them, it's very important to feel relaxed without stress because they have enough stress at work, reading emails, and they want to have peace. They want to have love. And also, I also teach women to give men oxytocin, which is bonding hormone. Actually, oxytocin is a hormone of breastfeeding mother. So just cuddling, touch, the power of touch, simple things can make miracles. I know so many couples, I helped them to save their marriage because we just changed a bit situation with doing simple things, rituals like doing different things and more love, more appreciation. Because it's very hard to lose your marriage. And it's very easy, but it's very hard to build family, strong relationships, long lasting, healthy relationships.
Great. And you did mention that you're into wellness as well. You had clinics before, and I'd love to know a little bit more about that holistic wellness that you do as well, and the treatments that you do. So, because I know that you do programs, but you also do
Yes.
wellness aspect as well, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about that as well.
Yeah, I have education in neuroscience and holistic medicine, so neurophysiology, and also in nutrition. So what I do with doctors, I've been creating many years since London. Actually, in London, I worked as a nurse in clinic IV Boost, and then I became a manager. So I'm very good at providing people right strategy and plan for healthy living. So wellness evaluation and supplements management, holistic therapy. I also have this Superman protocols for men. I have protocols for women, which I call Wonder Women. We have Wonder Woman retreat. Yes, and lifestyle modification, nutrition and personal development. So I do mental health, physical health, and emotional health, and it all works perfectly together. So I just not teach them and not give them strategy and plan. So I give them plan, your own wellness plan and your protocol. We start with blood work and then logotherapy sessions, questioning, like mental, like a real therapy. And then it all works perfectly together. And I have the best doctors, which I refer every client to. I know what's missing. I know what you need to fix, so it all works great. Like, and doing these retreats also is good, especially silent retreat, because you're also detox your body and detox your mind. Because you can detox your body very easily. You can make IV drip. You can be vegan for the whole month, drink a lot of water, but detox your mind much harder, to get rid of these limiting beliefs, of these thoughts, overthinking, like self-sabotage. This is very important. Mental health.
Mm. And I have to ask, because you have the most amazing skin, what,
Thank you.
when it comes to wellness,
Everybody tells me that.
yeah, I mean, you do. I just, as someone who's in their 20s, I want to have, really amazing skin when I'm older. You're very much into functional medicine, holistic medicine as well. I don't, what are some of the things that, in terms of nutrition, in terms of procedures, you do the blood work, you do all those things. What are some of the first steps that I can take into making sure that obviously my mental health and my emotional health, but also really importantly is my physical health as well. So what are some of the steps that I can start taking today that will have a ripple effect?
The first step, blood work, and see if your hormonal system is fine, because sometimes thyroid might be a big problem. I had an amazing client and she didn't want to do blood work. She was sure that I'm healthy. I'm 29 years old. She was an amazing lady from London. And I said, no, there is a reason why you are so hyper emotional. I'm sure that something wrong with your thyroid, which is the most important gland in our body, and pituitary gland, which is there. Because when I was in Kopan monastery with monks doing vipassana, they made us wake up at 5 a.m. to meditate and pray, because at this time your pituitary gland works the best, the most biggest serotonin, and your body literally like wake up, and your blood circulation. So waking up is very good, waking up very early, and to see your hormones, like how your hormonal system is. That's crucial, especially for women, because women, our hormonal system change like 400 per month, when men only 20 times. So we are so emotional. We need to look after our body and our emotions, but you need to know your hormones. And it's possible to fix, to balance your hormonal system without any supplements, L-tyrosine medications, just by lifestyle. Waking up, sleeping enough, eating good food, have zero stress, to distress your body, to distress your mind. And it's very interesting. You should start from there and detox your body, weight management as well.
How long does it normally take to start seeing a difference when it comes to, because I was going to ask, how do we change these hormonal issues without the medication, without that sort of thing, and doing holistically? And I understand that, obviously eating, I think a big one is with women with cortisone, is getting enough sleep. That makes a big difference. So how long does it normally take to start seeing those differences when you start implementing changes?
I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because you start implementing also new habits. You replace bad habits to good habits, to healthy habits. So you start sleeping more, you start eating quality food, watching your thoughts, and weight management and stress management, extremely important. There are plenty of supplements now, but also moderation is a key. Too much supplements also is not good. So you need to know your body, and you need to have your full total blood work to start from there. Very important. And it's like new attitude, new rules, and new system. You start living your day in a different way, different emotions, different nutrition plan, and it's all possible to fix. And you start falling in love with your new body. You start loving what you see in the mirror because you're smiling, you're happy, you have super present, balanced, focused mind, and you are reshaping your life, not just your wardrobe and your body. Yes, very good to have every single day physical activity. Make your body move, no matter what, no matter how, swimming, jogging, walking, doing yoga, whatever. Make your body move.
Would you,
Drinking enough water as well.
when it comes to your clients, do you have more men over female, or is it an equal amount between the two?
You know, my darling, now I have more men, surprisingly. And you will not believe that every man is super successful, super powerful, alpha men, like, and they're great. They're handsome. They look after themselves. They're fit. And they come to me so miserable. They come to me with so many things like to fix, and they have therapists. They take so many medications, so much, and what I see, they don't receive enough love. They don't have enough excitement and pure joy of living. They don't have this. Maybe somebody doesn't have right woman, because this is for men. It's very important to have right woman who makes you feel very important. Woman who makes you feel powerful and special. They focused and they chase wrong things. They chase things what doesn't make you feel better, and it doesn't make your life better. So they come to me and they're so miserable. It's just unbelievable, unbelievable what's going on.
And when it comes to the woman, what do you find is the constant, the common, like the underlying issue with them as well? Do you think it's the same thing?
Women come to me, they want to become more feminine. They want to become more feminine, and they want to learn how to carry yourself. And some women, they want to build their personal brand. They want to build their credibility, and I help them also with that. And also, yes, looking good, wellness. I provide this Wonder Woman protocol, which I created with all the top doctors from London, from LA, from Israel. And they want to look good. You want to look good. You want to be fit, fabulous. And the most important, you want to be loved.
Mm,
Loved.
amazing. Amazing. So for someone who's watching, male or female, if they're watching this and they're feeling that either one is resonating with them. So either, they've got everything that they're supposed to have that society tells them, but they're feeling miserable, or they're just wanting to tap into their feminine energy and, be lighter, be more playful. What would be the first advice that you would give a man and a woman when it comes to making those changes in their life, aside from obviously using some of your programs and approaching you?
Well, a value alignment is very important. Values, to find things that you both like them, and they make you feel good, and find something what really you both love. So it's really good. It saved many couples, and appreciate each other, and use this Christmas method to make these things to look forward to create more experiences, to create more emotions, like making some surprise for your husband, taking him to somewhere he has never been, going for vacation, or a little picnic on the ocean. Saying thank you is very important. This feeling of consideration and compassion and love to provide. And it's very simple. You don't need something like, it's so simple. Just appreciation. Appreciation is very important. And both should be very healthy, long lasting, healthy relationships.
Amazing. Beautiful, Karina. Thank you so much. I think that a lot of people watching this, I mean, I know from my experience, in asking you questions and having this interview is with you is just that you come off as a very calm person. You've done the work. You're continuing to do the work, but most importantly is you're helping other people to do the work as well. So I want to thank you for your time. And I know that, the lives that you are impacting are definitely changing. And I know that you're so many different changes. And I'd love to ask, do you have any up and coming new projects people should keep an eye out for? Because I'm sure that they would definitely benefit from all of your programs. But if there was a new one coming out, then we'd love to share that with them as well.
Yes, I really want to invite everyone for my retreats, like holistic retreats, wellness retreats. I would not invite every single person to my silence retreats. I would love to invite women to my Wonder Woman retreat, which is total transformation, mental, physical, emotional. So it's like new, brand new, totally new. It's new life, new rules, new emotions, new body. So it's life changing, awakening, eye opening, because I use so many methods and techniques and protocols, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing. And for men, they are welcome. I definitely bring this love and joy and understanding, understanding, being compassionate.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Karina.
It was great pleasure.
And I think a lot of the audience who are listening in will definitely be inspired. It can seem quite daunting, but you've made it seem very simple, very achievable as well.
Achievable.
It is achievable. You can do it. It's not this impossible goal to have or aspiration to have. So I just want to thank you for your time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too. The art of simplicity. Keep it simple. And all is simple. We
Yes.
already have everything. It was very enjoyable conversation, Kira. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you very much, Karina.
Thank you. Have a beautiful, magnificent day.
You too. Gladiators, I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did. So we'll see you next time. We salute you.